say number 5 is the traditional, a hint of the traditional Scottish ginger. I was going to say that the Scottish 7 squad said to me that the Project Waterboys hadn't come with any big boys. I think that was before number 5 had his breakfast. He's a fair old size there.
Yeah. Well, there's a bit of weight going down on those beats, mate. He doesn't look like he's going to be fading away anytime soon.
We feed in here from Joshua Lane, who's the from the UK, wing scrum half.
Oh,
big
great
scrum.
scrum. Great
How's
scrum.
this going to go?
But Shanghai have kept it.
Yeah, interesting interpretation there, you see. That one didn't get pinged for going round. Oh.
That was very unlucky. Nearly offloaded round the corner for the Devil's Advocate Shanghai.
Interesting variation there on the scrum rules. So previously that was dealt with pretty harshly. That scrum went right away around. The referee let it run through.
To say Devil's Advocate Silver Dragons, I'm calling the wrong thing, but they are all mainly from the Shanghai Rugby Union Club.
I have to say, so far, Breesy, they've been making the best fist of it so far.
They're down it. They've played the game all down in the Scottish half, which is what they want to do.
Let's see what the exit plan they do here. Actually, it'll be interesting to see whether they try and run out, which they're doing.
Oh, good fend there for number 11, Project Waterboys.
And he's still on his feet. He's got support on the inside, and he's off.
Great run.
But number 7 from the...
And number 10 took that.
Silver Dragons got across.
Robbie Nelson scores the try. Project Waterboys
seem to have a bit more pace about them than they actually looked. Yeah. Strolled home there.
And it's a very good afternoon to the members of the Sportsman's Club. Well, actually quite tidy at the moment.
So the exit plan from the own 20 team seems to pay it off. So yeah.
Yep.
I mean, but having said that, number 11 did really well because he was nearly caught right back behind the gain line.
He stay strong on his feet, yeah.
But I think it looks better. Ball in hand, as you were saying before, Robin, is very, very important. And rather than taking the option of maybe kicking, like you say, relieve the pressure, paid off dividends. You've got to back yourself. If you don't back yourself, no one else is.
Well, the Wallabies, they obviously had it as a tactic. I mean, kick it and really press the defence. But, you know, the quality of player picking the ball up, they just retain the ball. You're just giving it away.
Well, you really need someone who can move pretty quick, I think, to chase that ball down.
As Terry said earlier on in the commentary, he did say, you see what's in front of you. So the game can change. It might be the option to kick, but it might be the option to run it. So, as I say, it's what you see in front, and this is what we should be teaching the young kids in front in our programs now. It's not about the going through these patterns of play all the time. It's if you see the space.
Nice phase of plays here again by Project Waterboys. Ball gone out wide.
Some good work going out wide, and he's still staying strong on his feet.
They seem to be a bit more settled now.
Yeah, no release there from the Devil's Advocate team. Rather unlucky because they're defending very well, which the guy stayed on the ball.
The ruck rule is if the hands are on the floor, then
you're not supporting your own weight.
You're not supporting your own weight, and it's usually a penalty against you if that's the case.
It is one of these ones, Robin, when you watch the top class rugby that we're seeing on television here, it's one referee to another referee. Some players, they let just bounce with their hands and come back, and it's fine, and other referees you see very early on, you can't at all. You can't just put your hand on the ground, which is a fairly difficult skill to master.
It is. But as you see, all the games are different, but I think the referee that can keep the game flowing is the right referee for that sort of game, isn't it?
Yeah. Too much whistle and doesn't make much of a spectacle, so I think the referees will let the ball run. Provides a far more entertaining game for everybody, the players and the spectators.
That's actually the list of all the sponsors up across the other side, because it's silver sponsors there are BT, Riverbed, DHL, QNet, Taiku Place, Withers. Bronze sponsor as well apparently, with CBRE, CPA, Global, EY, Marco, Tricor, and we obviously have our core sponsor, which is GFI, who are the main title sponsor for this tournament.
So your eyes are pretty good, Brucey, better than on the paddock. See that far over.
And the gold sponsors, Allied World and Natixis. No. Oh,
Free
that's
ball.
very
Unlucky.
nearly an intercept. Very unlucky for the Devil's Advocate. Silver Dragons.
They need to get back where they were in about the opening 5 minutes of this game, where they were certainly putting a lot of pressure on Project Waterboys, but it seems like the Waterboys seem to have got the bit between their teeth and playing with a bit more confidence now. Taking the ball up, number 13 for Project Waterboys. Kerr Gossman, nice break going through. Still in possession here. Big fend there from the big fella. Into space and through he goes.
That's a great line of running.
Number
Well
12.
Danny McCauley.
McCluskey, actually. Danny
McCluskey,
McCluskey,
Sam
flying
McCluskey.
half there, yeah.
You actually, he picked his line. You could see him hanging back, waiting for that offload, and he hit it at pace, and he was through the hole.
Project Waterboys starting to now, I think, stamp their authority on the game.
And a conversion successful.
So 14-0, 2 minutes to go in the first half. Silver Dragons really need to regroup and get some points on the board before this clock ticks over and first half's done.
It's only 2 tries away, which is quite it can happen in a game easy, especially a 10s game and a 7s game.
Nicely picked up. Dragons with the ball. They certainly move it well when they've got it.
And it's been whipped. Once again, without that ball, you don't score tries, so. Projecx Waterboys have still got the ball.
The Waterboys are getting across that pitch. They're aligning themselves well. I think he's... Oh, that was interesting. I'm not too sure.
Did look like a tackle before the...
I think there was
ball
a tackle
came to it,
before
yeah.
he got the ball,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, a yellow card.
A fairly emphatic one, but did he get a yellow card for today?
Yep.
There is a yellow card shown.
Number 9 for the Silver Dragons, Corn de Trois.
You could
He's
say
been
that
shown the
was
sidelines.
you could say that was unlucky because he was committed. He thought the pass was
Right.
up.
If you were a forward, yes.
I think every forward should just get a point for trying to make a
So
tackle.
what you're actually saying there, Robin, is that a forward wouldn't have meant it. You would have done it deliberately. Nodding your head doesn't work for broadcasting.
Projecx Waterboys. Keep the points flowing.
Right, so 19-0, 1 man down for Silver Dragons now. It's going to look like a pretty big uphill battle. So I dare say they're going to start the second half for the first 2 minutes, down to 9 men. 28 seconds to go for the first half.
The level becomes 21 points to nil.
And that was a great kick.
What a beauty.
So,
We've seen some good kicks.
half time coming up, folks. We can, rather than concentrating exclusively on the game as we always do, Leighton, what do you see the chances of the British Lions
Well,
down in New Zealand this summer?
Well, the British Lions, I mean, now that Eddie Jones has managed to put the chariot wheels back on England's chariot, I think that's pretty good. I mean, even though it's not a direct impact, I think it's got to encourage Northern Hemisphere rugby. Strong England's good for the whole of that end of the world. If England's not playing well, then I think the other 5 nations teams, the teams up there struggle a bit.
It's a
So,
harsh thing for me to listen to that, Lee.
oh well, I know. But anyway, as a Scotsman, you're going to have to look to your friends in the south. So I reckon it's going to be a great tournament. I'm going to go 2-1. And I think a lot of people, given that there's a lot more belief in, I think, Northern Hemisphere rugby following England's performance coming out of that World Cup, I think there's going to be an expectation of a real humdinger of a tournament.
I think the Irish result, Leighton, when they finally turned the All Blacks over,
Right.
I think there'll be a core of Irish forward from that team, and they'll be doing confident. Robin, what do you think?
Well, I think definitely with the way the Irish are playing, and some of the key players definitely are up for that Lions selection. I think what it will come down to is the combinations, the scrum half, fly half combinations, or the back row scrum half combination.
Would you play Sexton with Farrell outside him?
That's similar style of player actually, I think. And do you need both two on the field? So it was something I have to look at.
Because they're both playing so well.
They're both playing very well.
Farrell, to me, in the last 2 years, has improved out of sight as a player.
I heard the Irish Rugby Football Union's actually just written to British Lions and said, well, excuse us, we've turned over New Zealand, we've turned over England, so I think just send us and we'll take care of the whole lot.
Well, thanks for that little intro there. Being a Kiwi, I guess you would say that, wouldn't you?
Well, the Irish, you've got to be saying they've been the giant killers of 2 great records and stood them back.
Yeah,
I think.
They have, and they've done so. They've done deservedly so. They've played very well, and you know what? I think it just makes rugby better, and you know, it's going to be a great tour down in New Zealand. And I'm hoping I'll see you all down there.
No, I hope so. I mean, as I say, we've got the midweek game. It's just, I mean, you're going to the heartland of rugby. Although I know you've got Wales, the heartland of rugby. I mean, everyone wants and breathes rugby in the Southern Hemisphere, in the New Zealand, in the islands. And you know, it'll be magnificent rugby. And I do kind of point out, of course, that Scotland did beat Ireland after they beat New Zealand. So you know, if you logically look at it.
I was wondering where you were going there. Now I know.
Meanwhile, back in the 10s.
Hand in hand, Robin, all I want's a Scottish starter in the Lions squad. We haven't had one since 2001.
Well, Scotland's done well, so they should have had a few faces there. Anyway, second half started. And I presume Silver Dragons are still down to 9 players for the next minute and a half, 2 minutes, I suppose.
And a knock-on.
We'll return to the Lions at next break because I think there's still more to be said. Talk about the first test.
And line-out ball, scrum ball, sorry, coming to Silver Dragons. They've really got to start pretty strong and pretty aggressively in the second half to overcome this 21-0 deficit. So I'm not too sure what the coach would have said at half-time.
It'll be pretty imperative they get the first score on the board, I think.
Yep.
It's a long day when you're the bottom team in a pool in this competition. Just every game is really, really hard work, and then they've got to keep themselves together playing as a team in order that they can come out the next day and still give it a go.
That's right. Team morale is going to be. I say it's all going to be hard work on the next day. So
going for the line out. These have been about 50-50, I think. So see how this works out for them.
So line out within the 5. There's 2 players in the 5, so that's.
And over a go, and that wasn't what you wanted. Straight to the Project Waterboys, cleaned up nicely. Now we're scrambling to contain them. Just needs to take the tackle, set it up. Just get yourself aligned again and start again, and that's exactly what they've done. Oh, nice steal there. Well done, Silver Dragons. Nice to get that ball out of that ruck. Back in possession. All tied up real hard there.
Some big hits going in the middle, and I'm holding on for penalty.
They're going to run it here. Project Waterboys, I think they're going to be fancying themselves. They're being pretty good now, ball in hand.
So Tom Wilson, the scrum half there, he's from Harriets, Melrose, Newcastle Falcons, Sevens, and England. So he's played a number of clubs. He's obviously got a bit of a background as well.
A nice play up wide, chip ahead. You're going to get through.
That's a positive kick. Didn't quite make it though.
Didn't quite make it though.
Unlucky, but the idea was there.
And yet, do you get the impression he could just have stepped inside that last man?
As I say, choices they made at the time. Yeah, but as we say, probably would have been better for
I think it's moved
keeping
on.
the ball in hand.
Yeah, I think it's moved on quite a bit, Brucey, from your and my one-dimensional sort of rugby.
So substitution, Cameron Mace off the field, and Caleb Ballock from Canada come on.
Again, all these boys, even though they've
charged down, here we go.
It's well done.
charge down is not deemed as a knock-on, so the ball carries on. But it's still the Falcons, Silver Dragons ball.
Again, that kick I don't think worked out the way they wanted. And
Once again, holding on
penalty against them. Yep. Again, a lot of different nationalities in the Silver Dragons, but they're all based out of China. They're a composite side from up there.
Yeah, they seem to be playing for, I think, the Shanghai Rugby Football Club.
Oh, that was a gift. Number 5 has it, but I think he's going to need some support. Might be the quickest boy. But well done. Secured the ball.
So ball's going to go.
Actually, it's pretty good for a Shanghai Rugby Football Club. I can't imagine they've got a very big catchment up there and making a good fist of it.
Having a very good check. Well, it's the competition, isn't it? I'm not sure how strong it is up there. Unlike most of some of the Asian clubs, they don't get that many sides in the country or touring sides. So you can only do what you can do.
Yep.
But it's good to see them here in Hong Kong for the 10s, and yeah, they're playing some good rugby.
Oh, yeah. They looked very impressive in the first 5 minutes or so against the Penguins. They defended well, and it took a long while before the Penguins could get away on them. So it's there, but it's just not quite enough, I'm afraid.
So it comes to that point in time is, well, how do we get out of our half? Well, the kick has to do, I think. So once again, don't defend your try line or 22, defend theirs.
Some nice running there for number 11, Project Waterboys. Harvey Elms moved that ball into a nice position now. He's got a real chance. Look at that, running right through the gap there. Number 16.
And it's a try from Ben Robbins.
And the number 11's looked sharp all game, actually.
Aye.
21 points to nil. That's the try for Projecx Waterboys.
And the weather's in their favour. It's clouded over while the Scottish team's on. God's on their side, that's what it is, you know.
You're right. It has gone a bit cooler now, hasn't it?
You know, but I get the impression, if this Shanghai team had been here 10 years ago, then this level of side would have been very competitive. You know, they'd have been up there competing for the plate, and just the standards. There's no easy games at all anymore, really. I mean, you know, I suppose you might say that they're the easiest team. The other teams are playing. They're a good rugby team.
Yeah, but you did right, Bruce. I think if this being 10 years ago, they would have been pretty well up there. I think they would have been sure on to get into the cup final, but it's just that the standard has gone up and up, and it's great rugby. I mean, the whole week just is a festival of rugby, and it just attracts so many people. It just works out so well. So again, even in the 90s, you could have a pick-up side from around the clubs in Hong Kong just to make up the numbers. Now there's not too many domestic teams in the league at all, really.
I think, as I say, that Guard Force team, and if you want to, you tend to see the very good teams. They tend to have a few Fijians in them, big Fijians. Yeah. Robin?
Well, I was going to say, as opposed to what other Fijian?
No. Waisai Sarevi, he was quite good.
He's still a big lad.
That's a very good point, actually, Robin. I hadn't thought about that.
Robin, most players are big compared to you. Just your perspectives, you know, slightly different.
Having said that, Bruce, I'm sure he's run around you a few times.
Round me and over me as well.
Over you, so I think I'll get all the lip in, because I think in the end the money's on Robin in terms of...
I was going to say, there's no trying to sort of crawl back now, man, Brucey, so...
No, my first encounter was Robin in a rugby pitch. Yeah. It was many years ago, and he made a fool of me there.
Big hits going in there.
Coming up next is going to be the Samurai International and the Gabakal. That'll be an interesting game, because Gabakal had quite a good turnout, and of course the Samurai are a fairly long-standing team.
They've been favourites for the competition the last 3 years and haven't quite managed to win it. Samurai, great team, and that Gabakal team earlier on looked fairly good.
Played some good rugby earlier. I think the Silver Dragons, what they're trying to get themselves a try, come up with something out of a bit high.
He slipped into that, but it was head high. Yeah.
The referee's got his arm out. I said they're going to try and get something out of this, where they'll try possibly to, if they can get a try, or at least keep their processes going. So,
Yeah, as you say, that's it. We're saying, Robin, they've got to keep playing and keep the team functioning. Keep your heads up, because there will be games they can win tomorrow, or at least be very competitive in.
Yeah, there's still plenty of rugby to go for all these teams here. This is just going to sort them out a little bit. But I've got to say, all 3 leagues tomorrow, I think, is still going to be good rugby.
Four actually, Robin. Four late, and it breaks into four separate tournaments.
It'll be great rugby all through the day, because none of these teams at all so far that we've seen have been, I think, out of depth. They've all played pretty solid rugby. And so it's going to be a great spectacle here. Obviously today still, but tomorrow...
It's been lost, so it's...
They've just tired, Robin. The last 5 minutes, this team's really tired.
So the difference between the two teams is if you're not putting in the big tackles, it means you're holding back and they're running at you. So the team has got the dominance of the team attacking, but if you can be the dominance on defence, then you are the team attacking. So, and I think they're letting the Project X Waterboys run a bit too far. Got less than 10 seconds to go.
X Waterboys. Does that mean they used to be in that band? I wondered when I read the name.
Who wrote that down then?
No, the project. Well, that's what the name is. But I just think they're aiming for the whole of the moon. That's what I'm thinking of.
So, you following that?
I got it on it. Unfortunately, I did.
Look, the game's over here. I'm just going to, well, let them find out, and then we'll run through the teams for the next game, because they're still trying hard.
Right. And that's game over. Got to say, when they started, the Silver Dragons certainly looked like they were there. They've got some skills.
Project X, Waterboys 28, Devils Hamilton, Silver Dragons, Melbourne.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry,
And the
carry on.
Project X
Oh,
Waterboys.
no, and you can see that they've certainly